have been confirmed. Okay, so here we go. It's what you expect, but there is something to note. The PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S console versions of Hogwarts Legacy support multiple graphical modes of play, the most common of which are Fidelity Mode, which runs at 30 frames per second, and Performance Mode, which targets 60 frames per second. Targets is the imperative word there. That is, I believe, the same verbiage they use for Forspoken. Forspoken's performance mode does not maintain a locked 60 frames per second, so I wouldn't expect that with Hogwarts Legacy either. This is a game that's ultimately coming out on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well. I mean, it's coming out on the Nintendo Switch, so hopefully performance is relatively solid. I imagine fidelity is going to be 4K, and exactly how many graphics options we're going to have, because sometimes it's well over 2, you'll have 3, 4, sometimes even 5 or 6 with some of these titles. I should also note, is variable refresh rate supported? Graphical modes for players who have variable refresh rate. VRR supported TVs or monitors are supported for Hogwarts Legacy on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. They also go over some notes on enabling VRR, so that is going to be pretty exciting for everyone. Hogwarts Legacy is one of those games, man. I see this game doing just gargantuan sales numbers. Like, people are stoked for this game, and I'm happy that so many people are so excited about the game. I'm not as completely sold as everybody else on the quality level that this game is going to be. I just like to temper my expectations with the majority of games that come out. Sometimes I get embroiled in the hype as well, and it's hard not to be super excited for a game. And in the case with Hogwarts Legacy, it seems like a lot of people are super excited for it. Just hoping it turns out fairly good. I'm not even saying it's got to be a 9 out of 10, a 9.5 out of 10, or anything like that, but as long as it gets a decent reception, I see this game doing blockbuster numbers as far as a commercial standpoint goes. Like, you know, millions and millions of units sold. Like, this is probably going to be one of the best-selling games of the year. I could even see it, this might be a hot take, be the best-selling game of the year. Yes, outpacing titles like Call of Duty, because this game is releasing on every platform. First of all, you're hitting PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series, PC, and Nintendo Switch, and just seeing how excited people are for this game, I see, like, it being a two-horse race this year between Hogwarts Legacy and Call of Duty. Maybe I'm forgetting about some other titles, but you look at, like, you know, other hotly anticipated games, Starfield, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, they're limited by the fact that they're only going to be on specific platforms, and even in the case of FF16, it's not like Final Fantasy is going to do numbers like Hogwarts Legacy is going to pull. Spider-Man 2, again, only on PS5, and then Starfield, it's on Xbox Series and PC, but a lot of people are going to play through Game Pass, and then it's not on PlayStation. So, like, Hogwarts Legacy, I think, is going to be among the best-selling games of the year. Easily among the top 3, and I would even go as far as to say it could be number 1. Maybe that's a hot take. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But I'm also curious to hear, like, when you guys talk to your friends that maybe aren't as much into video games that you are in, because I know a lot of you guys have friends like that, like, personally speaking, my casual gamer friends are super excited for this game, and that's when I know that a game is going to do really well. When my casual friends are super excited for a game, okay, that game is going to do really well, because now you're talking about you've broken into more of the mainstream zeitgeist of, you know, people that aren't following gaming on a day-to-day basis. When they know about a game, oh yeah, that game's gonna do pretty big. I felt the same way with Modern Warfare 2, unlike any other Call of Duty game in recent memory, where a lot of my casual gamer friends were excited for that game as well. And yeah, you could say that's Call of Duty, but that wasn't the case with Vanguard. That certainly wasn't the case with Black Ops Cold War, with MW2. It was absolutely the case, and with Hogwarts Legacy, once again, absolutely the case here as well. But that's just, you know, anecdotal evidence that might not mean much at the end of the day. But as far as performance options goes, like, I'll be playing in performance mode. I'll probably see how the game runs on PC, hoping my PC will be able to run it well. If not, PlayStation with the performance mode is the way that I'm always going to play games at 60 frames per second. At least, you know, that targeted 60 frames per second is what I really need these days. Alright, moving on from that, a lot of talk in regards to Sony's leaked sci-fi RPG. You guys have probably seen the footage, but nonetheless, apparently it's something that XDev is working on. Now, XDev is a Sony studio that usually helps out with development of other external developers on PlayStation-centric titles. Now, it also is noting from Reset Era that the game is seemingly being developed by People Can Fly. Now, People Can Fly have worked on a lot of notable titles, obviously Outriders most recently with Square Enix, but probably most notably Bulletstorm, Gears of War Judgment, which they co-developed with Epic Games, Fortnite Save the World, and then all the way back in the early 2000s, they did work on Painkiller, so it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out. I mean, single-player, big-budget RPGs seem to be something that is definitely within the Sony forte and, you know, titles they want on their platforms, but it's still way too early to talk about this game at this point, but it looks like the game is still very much in early development, and I wouldn't expect to see it for a while. It didn't get an official reveal, so this isn't a case of people getting upset, oh, the game was revealed too early, like I always do. Like, I'm using my voice right now, but, what's it called? I always complain about games being revealed too early. That's usually not a developer thing, that's more of a publisher thing, and people have constantly said that in the comments whenever I talk about that. Yes, I know, but I think from a publisher's standpoint, it's still sometimes not the smartest thing to do. Nonetheless, with this game, still very much early on, and I wouldn't expect to hear an official reveal for quite a while. Lastly, Skull and Bones, man oh man, like this game has just been delayed to infinity and beyond, and I just don't know what to expect out of this game anymore. I think I saw a tweet where somebody said it was like the 6th delay for this game, which is just insane to think about. I don't even recall 6 delays for it. I honestly have lost count, but it notes on the official Skull and Bones Twitter account, Skull and Bones, important update for all our aspiring captains. Today, we'd like to share an update regarding our release date as we made the decision to delay Skull and Bones a little more. Our determination and focus remain the same, offer the best in-game experience possible to our players from day one. This extra time will help us in providing further polish and balancing our game experience, following your feedback from previous tests. We also have an array of exciting content coming up on our social channels and ready to be shared with you starting tomorrow with our latest episodes of The Deck, bringing new and exclusive gameplay footage focused on our game's lore. Additional information regarding our new release date and upcoming test phases will be shared with you all very soon, so be sure to stay tuned and follow the conversation. Thank you for your support and stay tuned for more information. Look, I talk about delays quite a bit. Yes, delay a game as much as you need so you can get it at a state where people are going to be happy with the game day one. It's better to do that than release a game completely broken. However, when a game gets delayed this many times, that's where skepticism and pessimism does really start to come in. And with this game, I see it all over social media, in our comment section when we talk about it. Skull and Bones is a game that people are very much like, aye, this game may not end up being that good, and it'll be interesting to see, you know, is it gonna go the typical Ubisoft route of, you know, you spend $60, $70 on a game and then suddenly they want more money from you and more money from you. That seems to be the Ubisoft MO going forward. Not to say that's not a game plan that can work out well, and you can offer a quality $70 product or $60 product, whatever, and then ultimately release more content that is paid content and people be happy with it, but you need a game that's quality from the get-go, and a game that's, you know, a good investment for your $70. Forget all the additional content, and that's just the Ubisoft thing where obviously they're looking to monetize everything. I mean, you look at how many free-to-play titles Ubisoft has in development, it's clear that they have a game plan in place. They'll do their core Assassin's Creed titles, but even then, they have a specific game plan with that in place as well, and it seems like that's something that extends to other Ubisoft projects as well, and ultimately, it does seem like it's hindering a lot of these projects rather than helping them. That's just my 2 cents on it, but Skull and Bones is a game that, you know, at this point, look at 2023, look at all the major games coming out. This is very much going to be falling in a lot of people's radar in their most anticipated titles. Like, this is well under, this is probably, like, down below, like, top 20 for me when you look at all the games coming out this year, and Skull and Bones is one that, you know, is inspiring a lot of pessimism in a lot of people, so take that for what it is. But that'll do it for me, at least. Hogwarts Legacy gets a nice update as far as graphics mode goes. I'll personally be playing it in the performance mode, but VRR supported as well. That's a big deal. On top of that, Sony's League Sci-Fi RPG could be coming from the developer People Can Fly, a story to follow there. And Skull and Bones, let me know your guys' excitement level for that game. Like, do you still have interest in it? I love me the naval combat in AC4, and the idea of turning that into a full-fledged game and just